We get the appraiser out there on the 92nd day. We get everything through. We get it in. All of a sudden, we get the title. Lender comes back and says, we need another appraisal because this property's been owned for less than 90 days. Okay? Even though Greg's company that he represents, Company B, has owned it for over almost 6 months, we have to get a second appraisal. So then I lose my mind and say, why didn't we know this when I brought this to you in March? I would have ordered it at the same time, and it wouldn't have been a problem. Lo and behold, we got it done quick. Right, I called an appraiser out there. That's not like they're too busy right now. We got them out there. Wham, bam. Came in at exactly the same price. Everything was good. Sent it over. 312-642-5600. If you got any questions for Greg, a foreclosure attorney expert who's talking to us with what's happening in today's marketplace. Because I think a lot of people think, oh, I'll go buy a foreclosure. Boom. It's no problem. It's going to be a piece of cake. You got issues. Okay, we got a lot of issues.
So, Greg, you represent a bank.
I did in this particular transaction.
Oh, okay, not always. I was going to say, so in general, are you finding it takes forever?
I tell clients when they approach me, and by and large, it's a person who's trying to sell their house. They're in some stage of foreclosure, and I tell them, be prepared to wait anywhere from 3 to 7 months.
Wow.
3 months minimum. Now, I think my record is I've had a 32-day turnaround on a real estate matter, start to finish, when it was a short sale.
Okay. So shorts are a little quicker.
Yeah, but on a bank foreclosure, when the bank has actually completed their foreclosure process, gotten what I will say a deed, like a sheriff's deed, vesting title back in themselves, that is a little different than a short sale in that, by and large, I say for the most part, that entity wants nothing better than to just unload the property. So, because you figure they've already taken quite a hit. If they had to go through
on late payments,
then they're probably losing their shirt on what they're really owed.
Right.
If it was a $200,000 mortgage, they'd be lucky if the house is worth $150,000 now.
Right.
But if it's a property that's in foreclosure where the bank hasn't quite yet obtained legal title to the property, that could take us upwards of 7 months.
And then, to make things even better, we get everything done. Now the bank is asking, this is how crazy, and again, the only reason I'm bringing Greg on, because it was a pleasure working with him, and he was really cool on the other end, because I kept having to go back to him because the lender wanted more and more stuff, Kate, right? The lender came to us with, these 7 things, so I got them these 7 things. Then once they got the 7 things, they wanted 6 more. Then after they got the 6 more, they couldn't read 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and then what pushed Greg over the edge, and I thought he was going to have a conniption on me, was that there's like 3 pages of standard disclosures, just basic disclosures that the underwriter couldn't read. And I'm bringing this out to every real estate agent out there, that you might think that they're standard disclosures, but if the underwriters can't read something today, they don't care. Okay, so what Greg did, rightly so, is that he faxed over a blank one and then a completed one. Okay, so they could say, here's the blank disclosure that hasn't been faxed back and forth to California 6 times. All right, this is what it is. It's no different than the one that's signed. If you want me to get a new one signed, it's going to take another 6 weeks.
Right. That just happened to me on a couple of deals.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, one of them is ours.
Yeah.
So this is what you have to do. And I'm glad Greg is taking the time out, because I think it opens the door to a lot of people as to what's really happening out there in foreclosures. You need to be prepared to wait. You need to be prepared to be mentally, financially, and emotionally set for delays.
Well, Greg, I don't know if there's any one answer to this, but is it that banks have so many foreclosures that they're just backlogged? Is that the reason? Why does it take so long? It's very frustrating.
You're right. You're hitting the nail on the head there. The banks have, I don't want to say hundreds. It might be hundreds of properties in some stage of foreclosure. It might be thousands. I mean, I
Sure.
imagine these lenders are mostly national. So they have, say, just in the Chicago area, for example, you have a lender that might have 200 loans in some form of default. They might only have 2 or 3 people assigned to manage those assets. So when I am working with a seller and trying to get the bank to approve, let's say, a short sale, I might be, one of 100 that this person gets calls from every day.
Wow. Okay.
So it's not that they don't want to work with me. It's just that there's only so much 1 or 2 people can do. So I don't know. I don't know that's for sure. That's my suspicion, is that some of the lenders need to the extent that they can, hire some more people to manage all of these bad assets.
You think?
I think so.
Yeah, I've only been saying that for the past year, that if you want to start moving this, these lenders have to not only hire more people in the foreclosure department, they have to hire more people in the underwriting department, they have to hire more people in the subordination department, they have to hire more people in every single department, so it doesn't take 60 days sometimes to refinance a loan. It doesn't take up to 6 months to approve a short sale. I mean, you got qualified people there. I got people walking away from short sales, Greg, because they just can't afford to wait anymore.
Right.
Okay, right? Right.
If they're trying to, if they're first-time home buyers and they want that $8,000 credit.
Right. They're not waiting around for these banks to get around to it. So, welcome to the world as we know it. I just wanted to thank you for coming on. What's your number? Why don't you give out your number? You're located in what area and the area that you specialize in?
My name is Greg Bergen. I'm an attorney working out of Plainfield, although we do have offices in Oswego and Hochberg as well. Specializing in all matters real estate. Just seems lately they've always been the short sales and the foreclosures.
Yep.
We also handle corporate matters and estate work as well. My number in Plainfield is area 815-254-7200.
One more time, buddy.
815-254-7200.
And for the listeners out there, what was it like working with me and my staff in order to try to get this thing done?
Well, I got to tell you, I work with all kinds of people in this business, and it was absolutely a pleasure because you kept me informed. Now, you had absolutely no obligation to talk to me at all, since we were kind of on opposite sides of the transaction. But I think your communication with me, and I mean, you called me personally. You didn't have some office help contacting me to keep my client grounded, because we all have to be patient in these matters, and you keeping me informed meant I could talk to my client and keep them grounded, and enough time went by, we all end up with a happy resolution. But the fact that you reached out to me as often as you did was definitely something that I was impressed with.
Well, I appreciate it, and I can't say any more back right at you, because you were very patient with me, knowing that I was doing everything under my power to get it done with my lender. And sometimes things work quicker than others, and other times things take longer, and it's just a factor of today's market. And I appreciate you being patient, coming on and telling all the listeners what it is on the legal side behind the green curtain, so to speak.
And if I tell you, just a word to your purchasers is, if you're looking to buy properties that are either in the foreclosure process or short sales, be prepared to wait.
Thank you.
It's very frustrating, more so from a buyer's perspective.
Thank you, Greg. Thanks, Greg. We got to head in a break. Enjoy your triplets and your 16-year-old. Happy Father's Day. 312-642-5600. 312-642-5600. You listen to the Townstone Financial AM 560 WIND. We'll be back after these messages.